change is hard, and yes, it might feel messy, but it's also where the magic happens.
Welcome to the Redefining Midlife podcast. I'm Jo Clark and I'm so glad you're here. And this is a podcast for women who are ready to break free from outdated stereotypes, rediscover themselves, and embrace the endless opportunities that midlife brings. Each week, I'll share expert advice, actionable strategies, and inspiring conversations with incredible women who are redefining what it means to thrive in midlife and beyond. From health and wellness to reigniting your purpose and passions, this is your go-to podcast for feeling empowered, supported, and seen. And midlife isn't the end. It's your time to shine, rewrite your story, and create a life that you truly love. So let's get started.
Hello and welcome back to episode 140 of Redefining Midlife. I'm very glad and so thankful that you're here with me today. And before we dive into today's topic on how to navigate that messy middle of change, I want to share something exciting with you. Now, I know that most of you are navigating the challenges and the changes of midlife, and I'm thrilled to invite you to an event designed especially for you. I'm teaming up with my friend and my past podcast guest, Dr. Sian Hebron, who's a specialist GP in women's health and menopause. And we're having a transformative half-day event that we've designed to help you thrive through midlife. You're going to get the latest insights on all things menopause from Dr. Sian, all the way from navigating the symptoms to practical ways that you can support your body, as well as guidance on how to navigate multiple midlife transitions so that you can begin to design your next chapter with confidence. All of this is happening on the 18th of July at the beautiful Noosa Springs Golf and Spa Resort in Noosa, Queensland. And it'd be extra special to bring a friend along to enjoy a day of connection, learning, and empowerment. Tickets are limited, so head to the link in the show notes to learn more and secure your spot today. And also, before we go any further, I want to invite you to grab a journal or a piece of paper for today's episode. Anything that you might be able to use to jot down your thoughts, your ideas, or reflections that come up as we go. Because today's episode is one of those real heart-to-heart conversations where you might find a helpful hint or a nugget of wisdom that resonates with you. Today, I want to talk about something that touches all of us, especially in midlife, and that is the messy middle of change. You know, it's that in-between space where you've let go of what was, but you're not sure of what's next. And as we've all experienced, change comes thick and fast in this stage of life. This stage of life is a place where old roles might be shifting, the demands on your time might feel overwhelming, and where you're also navigating career changes, family responsibilities, and maybe even caring for aging parents, all the while trying to prioritise your own health, your life, your dreams. Now, I've walked this path too, and I also want to share what I've learned, both from my personal journey and from mentoring many women who have also been right here in this messy middle space. And my hope is that by the end of this episode, you're going to feel seen, supported, and equipped with some practical steps to begin navigating your own messy middle. So let's dive deeper and explore in more depth what that messy middle is. Now, it's a space between what was and what's not yet. It's that point where you're experiencing the change of one role in life, but you haven't quite defined the one that's going to replace it. And in midlife, this might mean shifting from a hands-on mothering role to that of an empty nest. It might be stepping away from a career that no longer fits, even before you know what's not next. It might be grappling with changing health or shifting priorities. It may be going from caring for your elderly parents to navigating life without them. You are becoming someone different. And it's an emotional roller coaster because there's grief for that identity that you're leaving behind, confusion about where you're headed, and there's also this really deep questioning of who you are. And here's the truth. This phase is not a failure, and it's not a sign that you're stuck. It's actually a normal part of life, and it's a necessary part of growth. It's like that cocoon phase for a butterfly, that messy, uncomfortable, and often it's invisible from the outside. But it's also where transformation is happening, even if you can't see it yet. And it's natural then that that messy middle is going to feel bloody uncomfortable. Part of this is because of the external pressures. Society tells us that we should have it all together. We should be productive, be everything to everyone, even as we navigate major life transitions. It's been that way for generations, and it's a story that we end up believing to be the honest truth. And then, on top of the external pressures, you've got the internal struggle. And by that, I mean that tension or the difference between craving the stability of the old, what you've known for sometimes decades, and the wanting or the yearning for something new. But the problem is, you don't often know what that new thing could be. It's a real push and pull or a tug of war that can leave us feeling exhausted and stuck. And if you're nodding along right now, please hear this. Feeling uncertain or overwhelmed in this phase doesn't mean you're failing. It means that you're growing. Now, I want to share some practical strategies that have not only helped me, but are ones that I share with women in my mentoring and my workshops. These are super simple ideas that can help you get through that messy middle more easily, with more grace and with more clarity, so you don't end up battered and bruised at the end of it all. And as with most things that I teach and I share, when you want to change direction in life or create a new goal, the first thing to always remember is start small and do that thing frequently. This is a game changer. So instead of trying to overhaul your entire life overnight, even though you feel like you want to, I encourage you focus on one small, meaningful change at a time. It could be as easy and as simple as a 5-minute morning ritual, a short daily walk, or simply taking a few deep breaths before responding to a stressful situation. Over time, these small, consistent steps help to build momentum and confidence as well as clarity, and it's the clarity that you're after. And I totally get there's a real desire and want to get to the other side of any discomfort that you're feeling quickly, but true and lasting change does not happen overnight. Another useful strategy for you is to anchor in the present. So that means when everything is feeling uncertain, grounding yourself in the present moment can be incredibly stabilizing. It is easy to race ahead to the what ifs, to the sadness that you're feeling, or to the worst case scenarios. So, things like breath work, journaling, or even sitting outside with a cup of tea can remind you that right here, right now, you're okay. Our recent episode with Michelle Eccles, that's episode 136, it is chock-a-block full of simple practices that are going to help you anchor and ground you in the present moment. So go back to that one if you're needing some information. Another simple yet powerful strategy that you can also do is name the transition that you're going through and explore what that means for you. This helps to bring more clarity by naming exactly what it is that's ending and then what possibly could be beginning. You might write this down or you might share it with a trusted friend. Just saying, I'm moving or transitioning from this role into something new can help you make sense of the swirl. Journaling how you feel, what it actually is that you're experiencing, can help you process some of these big emotions that you might be feeling. And it can also help you unpack more clearly what it is that you're moving towards. The next strategy, which is super powerful, is to find your support circle. Now, you don't have to navigate this alone. This stage is hard and it's better with other people around you. So lean on friends, family, or communities where you feel seen and where you feel supported. But a little word of advice. Choose very wisely because not everyone will be a helpful confidant or a support person. And don't feel like you have to take on the advice from anyone, especially if they haven't gone through something similar or if it just doesn't feel right for you. Having a support person or a mentor can be super helpful. And it's what I've found and what the women I mentor find. So if you're ready to go deeper, my Reimagine Mentoring program offers a nurturing, personalised space to explore these big transitions together and helps you to map out what's next for you. Now, the last strategy, which I found is really simple, but it's often forgotten, is just remind yourself that what you're going through is temporary. The messy middle that you're going through isn't forever, even though at times it might feel like it actually is. It's a season and it's a time of life. And trust that even though it feels murky and uncertain now, you are growing, you are shifting and evolving. And if you're intentional, this can also be an opportunity to create something special in your life going forward. Before we move into some closing thoughts, I invite you to pause with me for a moment. Take a deep breath, and if you have that journal or a piece of paper nearby, here's a prompt to reflect on. Where am I in the messy middle right now? What small, loving step can I take today to support myself through this transition? And if you feel like you want to go a little bit deeper, then try this prompt. What's something I've been resisting because it feels uncertain or uncomfortable? How might I gently lean into it with curiosity instead of fear? Now, I wanted to share this episode with you because I have been there. In fact, I know I'm going to go through it again. I know what it feels like to be stretched between caring for others, facing career shifts in an empty nest, dealing with health changes and challenges, facing the decline and losing of your parents, friends, and other family members. So you're left with wondering, where on earth do I fit in all of it? I truly get it. But I also know the power of small, intentional steps. The truth is, you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to make huge, sweeping changes overnight. All you need to do is just to keep showing up for yourself, one small act at a time. And reminding yourself that you're not breaking. You're unbecoming who you once were, and you're becoming someone entirely different. And just a reminder for you that midlife isn't the end. It's actually the beginning of something quite extraordinary. And yes, change is hard, and yes, it might feel messy, but it's also where the magic happens. So as we wrap up today, I invite you, take that deep breath and reflect on those prompts. Where are you in your own messy middle? And what's one small supportive step that you can take today? And if today's conversation resonated with you and you're ready to explore what's possible on the other side of all of these transitions, I'd love to invite you into my Reimagine Mentoring program. It is a deeply supportive space where you can clarify your next steps, rediscover your purpose, and reconnect with yourself. The link to learn more is in the show notes, or you can reach out to me directly because I'd love to hear from you. Remember, you are not in this alone. So stay kind to yourself through the messy middle. I'll be here cheering you on, and let's see you again next week.
Thanks so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you feel inspired to make the next chapter of your life the best one yet. And remember to share this episode with someone else who would love it, and connect with me on Instagram or LinkedIn at Jo Clark Coaching. All the links and the details from today's episode are in the show notes or at joclarkcoaching.com. And if you enjoyed this episode, please follow or subscribe this show on your favorite podcast app and leave a 5-star rating and review. This helps more midlife women find these empowering conversations. I can't wait to chat with you next week. Until then, take care and keep creating a life that you love.